WJKW TV8, Cleveland.
The prison documentary Scared Straight was a big topic of conversation at TV8 this week. Nearly 1,300 viewers thanked us for running the program. 160 said we made a mistake in doing so. To be more specific, a group from Akron said, "We would like to commend you on showing Scared Straight. It was a very educational and informative program. As you said, some of the language was rough, but since this street language is what most teenagers understand, to cut it would have ruined the impact. We would also like to thank and congratulate the inmates that take part in this type of program. Since they have nothing to gain, it is wonderful that they are willing to do something to help. Their straightforward, tell-it-like-it-is approach would make anyone stop and think about a life of crime." Mr. D.C. did not like us running the program. He said, "I dare say I have never heard so much vulgarity on the screen at the regular movie houses. I called the station this morning and was told that the response is running 10-to-1 in favor of the program. The profanity was one continuous stream. I feel, in spite of the overwhelming favorable reaction to it, that I did right by writing to Congressman William Stanton and Senator John Glenn, and I plan to go ahead with a formal complaint with the FCC. Sometimes we do have to stand alone, but it makes life more interesting." That's what some of our viewers are saying. We'd appreciate your ideas.
Drowning accidents in cold water need not always be fatal. Sea Grant research shows that some victims of apparent drowning in cold water can be revived without brain damage, even after a long time underwater. Until medical help arrives, apply resuscitation. Don't give up. Only a doctor can make that decision. A NOAA safety message.
Hi, I'm Mike Farrell. As a father, I'm interested in the growth of my children emotionally as well as physically. So I'm naturally concerned about their television viewing habits. Television can be a learning tool for children if it's used properly, but viewing can be abused without parental guidance. So I get involved with the selection of programs they watch. We practice selected viewing in our home. Be a concerned parent too. Use television wisely. Put the responsibility of television viewing where it belongs, in the home.
WJKW TV8, Cleveland. Good morning. This is Final Edition, a complete report of the day's happenings compiled by News Center 8. We have partly cloudy skies in Cleveland. Our present temperature is 45 degrees. Israeli TV gave its version Sunday of Israel's proposed withdrawals from the Sinai under the anticipated Israeli-Egyptian peace treaty. It said Israel will cede the oil-rich southwestern Sinai to Egypt within 4 months. But the broadcast said Israel will keep the oil wells and a military base in central Sinai until the final phase of the 9-month withdrawal agreed to in the proposed pact. 2 prominent lawyers are said to have been asked if they would supervise a federal probe into President Carter's family peanut operation. Monday's Atlanta Constitution quotes unidentified sources as saying attorney Robert Price has told the Justice Department he would accept the special counsel post. The New York Times says former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Carla Hills, also has been asked whether she would be available for the position. Senator Lowell Weicker may comment Monday on a decision by the Connecticut Federation of Young Republicans opposing his presidential candidacy. The group passed a resolution on Saturday criticizing the maverick Connecticut Republican. But a leader of the organization says the 15-14 vote was not a fair measure of the senator's support among young GOP members. Ralph Fabiano says most of the group's 120 delegates had left when the vote was taken. A federal judge ruled Sunday at a special hearing in Chicago that an embargo on the sale of March wheat futures at the Chicago Board of Trade must be lifted. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission met in special session in Washington later and decided to appeal the judge's decision. The spokesman says the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals in Chicago has indicated it will hear the matter before trading begins Monday. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission suspended wheat futures trading last week because of an alleged squeeze in short-term supplies. In other news, Black Panther Party co-founder Huey Newton is scheduled to resume his testimony Monday. He's charged with the 1974 shooting death of a teenage prostitute in Oakland, California. Hustler magazine owner Larry Flynt returns to court in Atlanta Monday under heavy security to face obscenity charges. Flynt was shot March 6th last year in Lawrenceville during a break in his trial on obscenity charges. He is still paralyzed. Testimony begins Monday in the Pryor, Oklahoma trial of a fugitive charged with murdering 3 Girl Scouts. The trial of Gene Hart opens more than 21 months after the young victims were sexually molested and slain at a summer camp in June 1977. South Korean businessman Tongsun Park is to be questioned again Monday in the federal bribery and tax evasion trial of former Democratic Congressman Otto Passman of Louisiana. Park is the government's star witness in the Monroe, Louisiana trial. A Cleveland newspaper, The Plain Dealer, reports that former Ohio Governor John Gilligan has been offered a teaching post at the University of Notre Dame. Gilligan is leaving his present job as administrator with the Agency for International Development at the end of the month. 2 persons died in Ohio traffic accidents to bring the weekend death count on the state's roads to at least 14. The Highway Patrol says 11 of the fatalities were reported yesterday. A joint legislative committee has issued an annual report showing 7 of Ohio's 8 prisons are overcrowded. The 8-member panel says the state reformatory at Mansfield is the most overcrowded prison in Ohio. The president of the Cincinnati Teachers Union says public school teachers will be returning to work Monday, but Roger Stevens says more work stoppages could occur if talks over salaries and working conditions are not resumed by the end of March. A team of electronic professors has joined the staffs at the 3 campuses of Cuyahoga Community College. Computer terminals have been installed in campus centers to give students and faculty access to more than 1,000 instructional programs. In sports, bowler Randy Parriott of Newark continues to lead the Ohio State Bowling Association Tournament singles competition for the 4th week with a 768 score. And in the NBA yesterday afternoon, it was Washington 126 and the Cleveland Cavs 112. Here's the weather forecast for Cleveland and vicinity. Partly cloudy tonight and Monday, continuing mild, with the low tonight around 45. The high Monday in the lower 60s. Mostly cloudy with showers possible Monday night and Tuesday, with the low Monday night in the upper 40s and the high Tuesday in the mid-60s. Winds variable less than 10 miles per hour tonight and Monday. Right now the relative humidity is 68%. The winds are out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour. The barometer reads 30.26. We have partly cloudy skies and our temperature is 45 degrees. Final edition was compiled by News Center 8.
The local YMCAs and YWCAs work to give young people the opportunity
to learn and develop physical skills, leadership skills, and competitive skills. The Ys help kids develop values, direction, and confidence. Won't you help young people by pledging your support to the Golden Triangle campaign?
Your gift will help sustain programs in more than 60 communities. Pledge your support today to the Golden Triangle campaign. Call the YMCA or YWCA serving your community.
Remember the day you brought your new daughter home from the hospital? Seems like just yesterday. And remember when she was learning to ride her two-wheeler? How you helped ease the pain? And that day she just didn't want to go to school. How you told her you understood? How you let her know you shared how she felt. And you ended up taking her yourself? You know something, Dad? You're doing just fine.
As a member of the National and Ohio Associations of Broadcasters, WJKW TV8 subscribes to the NAB Code and is privileged to display this seal of good practice.
Now invite you to join us in this inspirational message by Sister Willie Wright of Community Pentecostal Church.
You know, when I began to think about the goodness of the Lord Jesus and how much he were thinking about us down to the very minute things in life. Have you ever thought about maybe if there was no night, we wouldn't even take time out to rest or to maybe to steal away into a quiet time, maybe to be alone with the Lord? Listen to the words to this song, Steal Away. Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away, steal away home. I ain't got long to stay here. My Lord, he calls me. You know that he calls me by the thunder, the trumpet sounds within my soul. I ain't got long to stay here. Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away, steal away home. I ain't got long to stay here.
WJKW TV8 in Cleveland, owned and operated by the Storer Broadcasting Company, telecasting at maximum power of 302 kilowatts, concludes another day of service to your community through entertainment, education, and information.